Welcome to another IronCAD tutorial on Toby's practice model. This is dated 7/10 and it's got a B on there for, I guess it must have been a second version of this, but as a plexiglass table. It's really an assembly of two parts. We've got the base and the top glass piece. Really consists of an elliptical shape with an overall size of 48 and 30, and then the inner glass top is 27 and 45, and it has a little offset of 0.5 for that glass to sit down into. Some other key things that we have is we have a different thickness for the top. Everything else is 1.75, and we have a draft on the overall model. So you can build this in a couple ways. I don't know if they really zoom in to show you this, but you can have a curved face here or straight geometry here, either one. I'm going to do the curve just using an elliptical shape, and I'll draft that. So I'll show you how you can do that. But you can also use straight legs instead of using the draft on the ellipse. You can use a square piece on the bottom and draft it as well. So multiple ways to do it. Key things, some different densities, 72 for the table base, and then the top is 1020. So we'll go ahead and hop over to IronCAD and show you how we're going to design this. So what we're going to start off with is just drag and drop a simple ellipse shape out into our scene. And of course, the overall dimension for this thing is 48. And we have a 30 for the diameter. I did the wrong one. Wrong one. 30 for the diameter there. This is 48 for this. I think I typed in the same one. Sorry. 48 for the length, 30 for the diameter, and the height of this thing, I forgot to mention that in the drawing, but it's 17.8 for the overall height for this. So that's our starting ellipse here. So what we're going to do next is actually going to draft this side. So I'm going to use the draft face command. I'm going to select this top face. We're going to have a 10 degree, and we're going to draft the side faces. We want to draft this down. So I'm going to select the arrow to flip that over to the other side so it drafts inside this part. So we'll go ahead and hit that, and we now have our 10 degree draft on our model. Again, you could have done the sides a different way. You could draft the top piece, then add a square piece for the legs and cut this out, but we're going to show you how to do it this way. Next, I'm going to do a shell, and a couple things is I'm just going to keep it hollow at the moment, so we know the overall thickness is 1.75, except for the top, we want to have a 2-inch thickness here on the top. So we're going to go ahead and set that as well. So now we have a hollow model here, and next we're going to do is a cut feature to cut out these legs. So just a different way to build this. So I'm just going to drag and drop a cut out here, and why I'm dragging it onto the face is I'm going to position that using the TriBall. So I'm going to position it over here on this corner point, and then I can drag and get this quadrant point here on the part, which we know we need to offset this 0.875 because we're going to mirror it to the other side. The other key thing that we know, as long as we turn the TriBall off here, we know this overall length. Of course, to get to the center, it's going to be the 48, half of that's 24, minus the 0.875 to get that overall length for that. So that gives us our overall location for this model. Sorry, I'm just going to move my mouse here. But what I'm going to do is just drag handle there. I'm going to select this down, grab this handle, and just pull it all the way down, and we're going to pull this one out. And what we want to do is set this overall height minus 2. So we're going to offset that 2 millimeters, or I could just pull it down and snap to the inside of that shelf. The base, either way, would work. Okay, so that gives us our starting point for this piece, and we can simply turn on our TriBall, and we moved it off the center, so we just have to hit the space bar, move it back to the quadrant point, and then simply right-click, mirror link to the other side, and then we'll move it to the other leg location. So I'll just move this over here to this point and offset it 0.875 to get it in the center location. Hit the space bar and do the same thing as mirror about this handle the other way. So that basically will give us our cuts, and I forgot to select the other one when I did that. So let me, I can select them individually, but let me just show you how to do it the proper way. I missed that. Let's do the skin. So we have this shape here. Let's go ahead and mirror that to the other side again. So let's just go ahead and repeat that. I made a little mistake there. So let's go ahead and mirror, link that to the other side. Now, if you want both of those to go in this mirror condition, so we're going to select both of these. So we'll select this shape, hold the shift key down, select the other one. Then we'll move the TriBall to this location on this corner here. So I can zoom in here a little bit. Get this corner here. There we go. Move it in 0.875. Now we can go ahead and mirror that, and both of those will be mirrored this time. So you could repeat the step for the other one after the fact, but just want to show you can do it both at the same time. So that gives us our base for our shape inside of here. So next, we need to have this other shape inside of here as well. So again, you can use a sketch if you like to offset that. You could use another cut shape inside of here. So again, we'll just drop another elliptical shape out here. And again, we don't have really a center point to go off of, but we do know the side of this thing is 45, and we know it's 27 on the other angle, so 27 that way. And we're just going to set the depth of that to be 0.5 for now. So that's going to be our cutout slot. So what we're going to do is put this in the center. We're using the TriBall, so it's already in the center there. All we need to do is just to tell it to go here to the point here, which is our center point. So that'll put us right in the place along that plane. So that's kind of our starting point there. And that's where our shape's going to sit. We need to do another shape here to cut this out. So we can select this here and pull it down, and we're going to offset that. So we're going to go ahead and go to the cross section of that. In this case, this is going to be offset 0.5. So we're going to select that 0.5 here for the distance. Select this curve. We want it to go to the inside there. Hit OK. And is that correct? Yeah. Yeah, we're going to delete that outside one, and we'll hit finish there. There we go. That will give us our lip there for our model, and what we want to do is adjust that cut so that it's not all the way down there. We want to go just that to make sure you are doing the cut shape here. We want to do snap to point there to snap that off. Okay, so there will be a little bit of overhang here. That's what they do show in their example as well. So there is a little bit of an overhang based on how that table is built. So that gives us our base shape, and to create our other part, we can just do a new extrude shape here. If we go into our extrude command, we say create a new part, and we're just going to use that face right there to create that. And hit OK for a 0.5 thickness, and we can edit this cross section, and we can get rid of the inside. That will give us our total shape for our part, our second part. And just to make it so you can see it, we'll just go ahead and make it transparent here a little bit, 50% transparent, so you can see that inside part. So we have our table base here. So this is our base type. There we go. And this is our top in there. So now you can see the two here. To make these an assembly, just select both of them, holding the Shift key or box select, and then hit the S key, and you can assemble. And that will create your assembly. So a couple things, we had to get the mass for both of these, so let's go ahead and get this correct. So this one has one of 7,200 for that one, and for this part here, it has, I believe, 1020 for that inside of there. So now if you select our assembly, you can hit calculate, and it's going to give you about 217 for the mass. So that's how you build this in IronCAD. Very easy to create assemblies. You don't have to create separate files for our parts and then insert them, or insert in place and build parts. We just design like we're just building with the model, and we can change the structure at will here in IronCAD by assemble, disassemble, using those civil keys by right-clicking and saying disassemble, or shift selecting and assembling. So there you go. That's how you can build this model. Again, there's multiple ways you can do this, and I just wanted to show you one. And of course, and I wanted to show you kind of the quickest way, so that's why I went back and did the mirror of both pieces to make it a little easier. So if you need to do any dimension references, you can always select your points or your edges, and like this case, this is supposed to be the 1.75. You can see that here as well. So you can see the 1.75 and make sure we got our links right. If we want to look at these, it's 18.438. That should be the same. Same for these, so that we did it all in the center. This is just some verification inside of there. So hopefully you find this very useful. Again, most of the shapes that we have in our catalogs can build a lot of these parts fairly simply, and you can just edit them with the cross sections if needed to make some modifications. And we'll see you on the next one.